All right. Watch the videos. Good questions. I want to do my best to explain this. Okay, so question number one is, should the club go this way or this way? So the answer is option number one. You want the club head to go straight back. Now, the reason why is because if you bring it on the inside, once you get, club gets on the inside, and once you get to the top, you're all the way back here. So I don't really have a lot of room here, so I'm going to choke way down on the club. If I bring it inside, my tendency is going to get here to the top, and then I'm going to want to get to the ball. And so I'm going to do that, which is coming way over the top, and a lot of bad things can happen. So that's the reason why the club is straight back. So if you take a video, it's got to be lined up pretty well, but if it's about, I don't know, hip waist high behind you, what you can look for is you want the club head to go straight back, rotating to where that club head is covering your hands. Okay. So straight back, cover the hands, and then you continue to rotate. Now, question number two, what are you doing with your wrists? So dragging the club straight back. And I say dragging because we want to feel like our big muscles are working, dragging rather than picking up. So drag the club straight back, cover the hands, arms are still straight, nothing's bent. You're just, at this point, you're just moving the big muscles. Drag, gonna cover the hands right here. And then yes, there is a little bit of wrist action. So here, cover the hands, and then I'm going to start to bend my wrists this way, like this. Not up and not back, but right over my shoulder, my right shoulder. Okay, drag, cover, and then bend. Now, this is where it can get a little bit confusing because the things that you've heard and the things that even I've talked about, dropping the hands. Now that's what I tell people, but I missed a step whenever I told you. So like guys within the PGM, I tell them drop their hands, but we skipped a step. The first step is shallow the club and drop the hands. So where it's kind of misleading is you get to the top, okay, and then I say drop the hands, so that the misunderstanding is that you just pull your hands down. You just let them fall. The first step is, everything we just talked about. Club head covers the hands, and then you bend the wrist just a little bit right over the right shoulder. We want to feel what's called shallowing the club. So the club is going to drop like this. So the club drops back. And then from there, get to here, the top, right? And then you want to feel the club do this, shallow, and then that's where your hands drop. So the confusion and what you're doing is you're getting to the top and it's good, but then you drop your hands and the club goes this way. So the club should be shallowing, but you're dropping your hands, which is making the club head get steep. Whenever it should be here, shallow, drop, rotate. So after watching your swings, see if I can remember. The 9-iron is better. Your practice swing looks really good. And in fact, in your practice swing, you don't really get too vertical on the downswing. Your practice swing is pretty good. It doesn't really shallow too much, but it's on the club head doesn't really move at all. It stays on the same line. So you get to here and then you kind of just pull through it, which is good. But then the actual swing, you get to here and then your hands fall and the club goes like this. Rather than you get to here, the club head shallows and you turn through it. Now this is, again, there's a lot of information and it's kind of all getting tied together, what we've talked about. But remember me telling you about shifting your left shoulder into me, pressing your weight this way. That's kind of the next step. So I'll walk through every single step right here before I go any more into the 9-iron and driver. So set up. Grip looks great. Grip looks really good. Okay, so first, drag the club straight back. Club face, if you take a video just like this, the club face, you want this leading edge here to match your spine angle. So for people who have a tendency of letting their hands roll over like this, I tell them to try and keep their club face pointed at the ground. So here, you were talking about having the club face pointed at the ground, so we're just going to keep going with that analogy. So drag back, club head covers hands, face is pointed more at the ground than it is up at the sky. Okay, and then from here, we're going to what's called a little bit like cocking the wrist almost. If you look at Rory McIlroy, he does this really well. So you cock the wrist over the right shoulder, and then from here, the club head is going to shallow, move this way, hands drop, and from here, that's whenever our weight shifts over, right? So pressing into me, and then left leg, remember we talked about pushing into the ground. So once you're at this, once you shift your weight, your hands and arms are pretty much done. You don't even have to worry about much after that. You just got to turn the big muscles. Turn the legs into the ground and allow your hands just to fall behind you. Hopefully that makes sense. Yeah, I covered the 9-iron pretty much as much as I think I needed to. Then again, if that doesn't completely make sense, what I mean by shallowing the club, let me know. Driver, same thing. It's a little bit more noticeable in the driver just because I think it's a driver, it's bigger, you want to hit it farther, so you're trying to swing at it a little bit more, which makes sense why you get to the top and then you just, like we talked about on the golf course, you just kind of get excited. You just want to get to the ball, so you drop your hands, club head gets vertical, and then it's just a little bit more noticeable with the driver. This is a long video. Hope it helps. Let me know if you have any more questions, send any more videos. I'll try and respond by video just so that there's some visualization. All right, thanks.